This is Straight Goodness Alexander, and I'm down to dunk.
This is Jay Will, and I'm down to dunk.
They have. Here we go.
I'm Isaiah Hartenstein, and I'm down to dunk.
I hope savior of basketball has won.
Well, the Dortcher Chamber has been going pretty well.
I'm Aaron Wiggins, and I'm down to dunk.
I'm Chet Holmgren, and I'm down to dunk.
I'm Mark Dagnall, and I'm down to dunk.
He just does a big smile and
I feel blessed by God to be here with down to dunk, be here with you.
I'm Alex Caruso, and I'm down to dunk.
I'm AJ Mitchell, and I'm down to dunk.
This is Isaiah Joe, and I'm down to dunk.
Oh, jeez. Are you going to sing it good enough for me to guess it, or?
Panhandle. Jeez. I'm tweaking.
Name 2 famous Oklahomans.
Myself and Jalen Williams.
Is that a crazy answer?
All my friends call me Bob.
Where's Rachel? Unique story. You lived a whole life.
Plain?
Plain.
This is Kason Wallace, and I'm down to dunk.
This is Lou Dort, and I'm down to Dort.
True blood Oklahoma.
That's right.
Pretty exciting, if you ask me.
This is J-Dub, world champion J-Dub, and I'm down to dunk. And eat burgers.
Ooh, welcome to Down to Dunk. I'm your host, Andrew Schlecht. We're part of the Athletic Podcast Network. Before I get to my good friend, MIchele Berra, I want to talk about 2 other friends of mine, Aaron and Drew Reese of Shelter Insurance. Give them a call or text today, 405-773-5500 or 405-478-7714 today. Are you in Zerd? Please go give them a call. Give them a text. You might need better home insurance, car insurance. Your premiums are just going through the roof with other companies. And Shelter Insurance is not only going to provide great value, but the service is great. And these guys know the Thunder, too. They're going to be able to tell you what they think about the Thunder picking up Lou Dort's option. They'll have an opinion on it. So give them a call or text today and support the people that support Down to Dunk. With me, it's been, I don't even know how long it's been, MIchele Berra, back on the pod. He is in paradise right now, but recording a podcast with me on a Sunday. I guess it's not Sunday morning for him, but it's Sunday morning for me. MIchele, what's up?
Well, it's been, I think 19 days. I'm counting them because I missed podcasting with you.
Yeah, that's a long time. It's too long.
Yeah, too long. Yeah. I am in Greece, so it's middle afternoon, very hot. So don't mind a little bit of shading and podcasting. But yeah, this place rocks. Yes.
Yeah, I'm sure it's unbelievable. Yeah, you're in Greece recording a podcast on July 19th with me. I love it.
Yeah.
Okay, awesome. So there's not a lot that's happened news-wise in Thunderville. I feel like we've run through a lot of it. Last week, I think Alex and I covered a lot of it. We talked on Friday about anything else, and there's really not much else to cover unless I've missed something, which I don't think I have. So I thought that we could go through all of the transactions that have happened this summer where it kind of feels like everything is done for the most part. Now, there could be something that comes up. There could be a Lou Dort trade that comes up that makes total sense for the team, and we'll talk about teams or players or anything that makes sense there. But I thought we could just go through each transaction and give it a grade and then give an overall grade for the summer for the Thunder.
Are we also grading first round picks?
Yes.
So that I can get my take on what I saw from Summer League, which is not a ton, but
Absolutely. Yeah. So we'll go through all of the player transactions for the team, and then we'll go through the draft. So the first one, it was the first trade of the summer was Aaron Wiggins to the Atlanta Hawks for 2 second-round picks. Now, the obvious advantages for the Thunder is that they get to just take his money and completely offload it to the Hawks without having to give up an asset, and they get 2 second-round picks back. So it's really nice value for the Thunder, and I would also say it's really nice value for Atlanta too, to get a player that is certainly a rotation player in the NBA, and could be more than that for Atlanta given the chance. But just rewinding back, just your thoughts on Wiggins to Atlanta.
let me rewind back a little bit more. I would say this time last year.
Yep.
I think that we had high hopes for Wicks. He was a crucial part of OKC in the final run. He
Yep.
scored like a lot of points in the playoffs, crucial points in moments of games where OKC had nothing else working. And to me, it's the weirdest of the season for OKC. Like among every player, I mean, I think that we kind of got, except for injuries, what we thought. I mean, clearly we wanted to see Topic. Clearly we had high expectations for playoff Joe, which did not materialize. But for Wiggs, I mean, I thought he could be our six man.
Mm-hmm.
He is scoring like crazy. He is improving in terms of impacting the game to a high level. And it just didn't happen. And this shows you how hard it is to make it in the league and to be like productive every single season. So to me, that is unexpected. After the season that he had, I think that the best outcome for both is OKC getting out and Wiggs get a fresh start somewhere else with like very nice players. I mean, and just having a second chance, like a second chance to be more important in the rotations, because I think that, had he stayed with OKC, I think that him in the backing order would be like 10th, 11th, which he will not be that in Atlanta. So good for him, but kind of like a different season from what I expected from Wiggs. And I think what he expected.
Yeah, I agree with that. MIchele, you're kind of cutting in and out for us a little bit. Maybe try turning off your camera, and then we'll see if that improves the sound. Yeah, it's. I think that it's probably is under talked about how difficult it is to be like a bench rotation player for any team, because like you don't get to touch the ball that much. You have like very little real opportunity to like showcase your game. I mean, I've talked to Wiggs about this. Just like his game is like more like I need the basketball. I can, create off the dribble. I mean, you go watch anything from him in Maryland, it like kind of shows like what his game was, and then he gets to the Thunder and he's like catch and shoot, attack a closeout, and like be really good defensively. And he did all of those things very well, very well. And then he wasn't able to really do that at a high level this year for just a few months. And it's like, yeah, that's just kind of how the NBA goes. And I have to think that they worked with Aaron on where he wanted to go. And Atlanta just ended up being one of those spots. And so it makes a lot of sense to me. I think that he'll really enjoy playing on that team. I think that he's well suited for the kind of offense that they ran in the second half of the year. So I'm excited to see what he can do there. He'll be very missed by many people, including myself. I know that he was like one of the people that made Shea laugh more than anybody. Anytime I would ask Shea who he thought the funniest person was, he would always say Aaron Wiggins. And so he definitely will be missed. I would give this transaction probably like a B+ or maybe like an A-, because you do get assets for a player that was not playing well, and you don't have to give up any assets yourself to offload the money. Also, the Thunder were in a position where they had to clear roster spots. I think both of us were kind of like team draft 2 players at 12 and 17 rather than trading up. In hindsight, maybe you'd want to trade up, but like this is kind of where everything fell for them. But they did have to clear the roster spots no matter what. And Wiggins and Joe always made sense as like the two guys to clear because of their salaries and the value that it has there. And then just the way that they were not able to really be in the playoff rotation down really in the Western Conference Finals. So thoughts on a grade, MIchele?
I mean, I had to log out and re-log in, but I thought I think I know where we are in the pod.
You're still so choppy, MIchele.
Yeah, I'll try to change location, Andrew, and call you back in a minute.
Okay, call me back. Okay. Okay. So Aaron Wiggins to the Hawks, I'll probably give it a B plus. I think it's a fine trade for the Thunder. Again, you really accomplish a lot of things within it. You get assets back, you clear a roster spot, and you clear a lot of money off your books. So like you accomplish a lot of things within that. Does it make you a better basketball team? I don't know the answer to that question. You cleared a roster spot for an incoming rookie. You can say it goes to whoever, Sturts or Mara, are occupying these two spots that they cleared. I again have high hopes for Bennett Sturts. The Mara stuff is questionable today, I would say. He's got a lot of improvement to make. There were a lot of flashes. There's a lot of fun stuff from Mara in the summer league, but there are pretty glaring weaknesses of his that hopefully MIchele will get on here so that we can talk about those. Next one was Isaiah Joe traded to the Detroit Pistons for 2 second-round picks. Pretty similar deal. You get Isaiah Joe. I mean, again, like you'd have to think like this situation is like tailor-made for a guy like Isaiah Joe. I just think that the Detroit Pistons needed a player like him in a pretty big way. They need more shooting. They need more athleticism. I think Joe provides more athleticism than a lot of people think. Defensively, he got so much better since he arrived in OKC. Alex and I talked about the story that Mark Daigneault told the other day at the golf tournament. I mean, that's just incredible stuff. Just about Joe not wanting to play in the G League and them asking him to just practice in the G League. And he was very adamant that he's not a G League player and said that a couple times. And it is really funny to me that I would guess that they're like, okay, well, this better work out for you if you're going to say that. And it obviously did. So shout out to Isaiah Joe for being a huge part of the Thunder for many years. And, I think he's going to thrive in Detroit. I think he's going to be so good next to Cade. I think that the guard-to-guard screening stuff that he'll be able to do with Cade that he did with Shea. I mean, go look at any of the plus-minus stuff with Shea and with Isaiah. It's like it's ridiculous. Every year he was a plus-minus demon and was helping them. So they got 2 second-round picks. They didn't have to give anything up. I do think that Isaiah is probably a little bit more valuable than Aaron Wiggins at the end of the day. Less years on the contract, which is maybe not as good for Detroit, but the value is there with the contract. The value is there with the player. He's going to help them win a lot of regular season games. He helped the Thunder win a lot of regular season games. I'd probably put this at like a C plus or a B minus. I just kind of wish that they could have gotten a little bit more for Isaiah, but the value is still there though for the Thunder. Again, it accomplishes a lot of things all at once. Clear roster spot, which they needed. They had to have the roster spot. They get 2 second-round picks back. To think you'd get a first for Isaiah, maybe I'm being a little unfair. To think you would get a first, maybe you could just get 1 more second, maybe you get 3 seconds. But like to think you could get a first for Isaiah just probably doesn't make a lot of sense. And then you clear a lot of money off your books. So like all of those things, you accomplish a lot of things in one trade for both of these guys. And you find, and like on top of that, you get them to a place where I think it's really good for them. And it's in the Eastern Conference, which is not too bad in itself. So I really do not, I think these are good trades for the Thunder. They're probably both in the B range. It wasn't like for it to be in the A range, it'd have to be like a little bit surprising or like surplus value for me. And I don't know that it's that, but I do think that they accomplished a lot whenever they made both these trades. So I'll give these both probably B plus for Wiggins, B minus for Isaiah Joe. So Okay. Let's go to Isaiah Hartenstein, the other Isaiah. The Thunder re-signed Isaiah Hartenstein, or I guess they gave him an extension. That is 3 years, $75 million. According to Spotrac, it's going to be $23.1 million in 26-27, $25 million in 27-28, and then there's a mutual option in 28-29, which is the first season the Thunder will be in the new arena, by the way, which is exciting. They are pouring concrete at the arena, I believe, this week. So pretty exciting stuff there with the new arena. But Isaiah Hartenstein re-signed with the Thunder. I think it always made sense to bring him back. You look at the center rotation behind him, and it's either like Chet's a full-time center again, Jay Will's a full-time center, which I don't know that either one of those guys are, today should be like the only center out there, period. And then it's kind of like a mystery box with Thomas Sorber. We haven't seen him play in Summer League. We've not seen him in preseason. We've seen him at Georgetown, and that looked pretty good. So it would be really tricky. And then we have Mara, who just physically doesn't look ready. Like, he just does not look ready. So I think that it's good to have Isaiah back because they're going to need him. He's a starting caliber center. It suddenly makes the center rotation look like the strongest, one of the strongest positions on the team, probably the second strongest outside of guard. So that's a good thing in this NBA, especially whenever you see what guys like that on the center market are getting right now. Like, this is a value contract for the Thunder. This is like A+ for me, because I think you could immediately flip him for a lot. You look at what the Lakers gave up. I think that the Lakers would have given up a lot to get Isaiah Hartenstein in a trade. And so I think if he were available via trade, you could get back whatever. Even you could get back a lot for him, multiple picks. I think you could get back a good player. I think you could get back a lot for Isaiah. So I do think that this is surplus value for the Thunder. Obviously a good deal for Isaiah Hartenstein too. I mean, it's a lot of money, but I do think this is him buying into a winning culture, buying into a team that's going to win a lot of basketball games. So that's what I think about this one. So okay, let's take a quick break. We'll talk about Lu Dort's option, the draft picks. I don't know if MIchele is going to rejoin us, which is a bummer. But eventually we'll get MIchele's thoughts on Summer League. But we'll continue doing draft grades right after this quick break. And we're back after that quick break. I want to tell you about my friends over at Ring Family Dentistry. Ring Family Dentistry takes a straightforward and honest approach to dental care. Doctors Phil and Brendan Ring believe in keeping what's healthy, fixing what's not, and only replacing what truly needs it. No pressure, no upselling. Just clear explanations, thoughtful recommendations, and decisions that are always up to you. Ring Family Dentistry is a true family practice with a laid-back vibe, modern tech, and high-quality work, including same-day crowns, even for your front teeth, plus implants, bridges, root canals, and clear aligner therapy, all offered in-house. Call to schedule your appointment at 405-621-1555 or make an appointment online at ringfamilydentistry.com. Okay. We are grading the summer for the Thunder. We've so far, Aaron Wiggins, B-. No, B+. Sorry. Aaron Wiggins, B+. I should probably write this down instead of just trying to remember it, huh? B- for Isaiah Joe, just because I feel like Isaiah was just maybe worth a little bit more. Isaiah Hartenstein, A+. I think it's just a great deal for the Thunder. And then Lu Dort, the Thunder picked up his $18.2 million option. I mean, here's the deal with Lu. They were never going to just decline the option. And I don't think he was going to give some sweetheart deal either. So picking up his deal is really the only path forward, in my opinion, that made sense. I would probably give this this is a tough one because it's like what were they supposed to do? Honestly, like they're gonna really decline the option and let him walk, and let him like walk to the Lakers. No, no, that's not gonna. That was not gonna happen. Then you receive what? Nothing. You really cap relief. I mean, at this point in time, the Thunder are trying to win an NBA championship, but I just don't think that made really any sense for the Thunder. Now, could they trade him the rest of the summer or during the season? Yes, they absolutely could. If it's like not working with Lou, if he like doesn't start and then he can't find a bench role and other guys are playing above him, let's say like Sturts is like really ready and he's like taking a bunch of minutes, and obviously McCain is going to play, and you have Shea who's going to eat a bulk of the minutes at guard, and then you've got guys like Case and Wallace and AJ Mitchell, and let's say they're both healthy all season, and it's like very crowded. Like there's a chance like it doesn't work the way you think it might. Now you're going to have injuries. You're going to have time where you need Lou Dort. There's going to be matchups where you need Lou Dort. What if the Lakers are good? It seems like a pretty crazy what if, but what if they are good? Lou Dort is a perfect player to play against Luka. We've seen that in multiple games. And so I just don't think it's worth just giving up a guy who started for your team that has won an insane amount of games. So I think picking up his option, I would just give it a flat A. I think it shows like a commitment to just competing at a high level for the Thunder. So I'll give that an A. I think it's the right thing to do. You could still trade him. McKelly and I have talked about different options. McKelly is going to try to re-enter this pod, and I hope it works. It's a good time for McKelly to come back. But yeah, I think that McKelly, can you hear me? We can hear you. Are you there? Oh no. McKelly? Okay, I'll keep talking because I can hear him rustling around, but I don't think he can hear us yet. I think it was really the only way to handle this. I don't think there was another way to handle this Lou Dort situation, because I don't think he was going to give you some sweetheart deal, $10 million a year or whatever it would, feel palatable for the Thunder. I don't think that was going to happen, and you're not just going to let him walk. And so you have to give yourself as many options as possible with Dort, including keeping him. Because like I gave you like the bad scenario, there's a chance that he's good. And he's had years where he shot it really, really well. So I think if he can bounce back and he can shoot it well, then we're talking about crazy value. The depth of the team is better than it maybe ever has, especially if Sturts can play. I think that you find yourself in a really good spot because like a lot of people like think like we're replacing Isaiah Joe and Wiggins with Sturts and Mara, but like you have to remember that Jared McCain was not on the team for a majority of the season. And so like the way that I kind of look at those two guys, those two spots is like you're replacing McCain or Isaiah Joe with McCain, and Sturts is going to take the Wiggins spot. And then really Mara can occupy more of like the Oos spot in my brain if you have to organize it in a certain way. Like that's the kind of the way that I organize it in my head, because he's going to be a developmental player. He's going to be a guy that needs time. He can do some stuff right away at the pro level. I believe that. Is he going to be able to play a ton of minutes? No. But I do think like he can help them in certain ways. So I do have Lou Dort with an A. And then let's go to the draft. This is where I wish McKelly was available for us, because I would love to hear his opinions. But let's go through the draft. Let's, like, in hindsight, after Summer League, where are we at? How do we feel about the draft? I think that the Summer League team as a whole was extremely underwhelming. I think that is not a hot take at all. They have not won a game. They do play today at 3:30. I'm recording this Sunday morning. So they do play today at 3:30. Their last chance to get a win and it does not feel super hopeful. They play against the Nets. I'm not sure who exactly is playing for Brooklyn. So maybe it happens. Okay, so let's look at how the draft fell. So the first pick was a Mara. MIchele, are you there? MIchele? I can hear him rustling again. I don't know if he can hear us. They picked the
I
Mara.
can, but I think I'm choppy.
You're not choppy. You sound fine. That sounds better. It might be delayed, but you're not choppy.
Okay. I will not. Yeah. And I can hear basically half of the things that you say. But hey, if you want, I can try to get my takes on Summer League and Mara before this shuts down again.
Please do it. You have the floor.
Wow. So I think I was impressed by some of the passing and some of the finishing that I saw that I did not expect to come to fruition as early. I found, like, especially in the last two games, a lot of the pick and roll combination with him and Sturts to be what I hope that could materialize in Summer League. The truth to be told, I was expecting, and Alex said that as much, I think last week or these last podcasts that you make. I was expecting a little bit more on defense. And as soon as he's out of the paint, anyone, even like not super duper fast guys like Trevor in Brazil, can get the best of him, and not by a slim margin. Like it's, and that is a little bit concerning, because if you can play him only in drop coverage, and even in drop coverage is not like, it's not as a deterrent as I expected at the rim, then I have a little bit more questions about the playing time as of next season. Because I mean, we all know that yes, offense is important, and for OKC especially. But I mean, you need to be present defensively. And Mara, I mean, I would say it's a bad grade for me defensively. What's your thought?
Yeah, I mean, he's good when he's at the rim. You know, I think that will primarily be his role with Thunder. I think he's kind of put in a tough position overall. He was never supposed to be like a switchy guy. And so, or even a guy that could like defend out on the perimeter. And he may never get there. Like that may never be what he does. But I would say that like I don't like the defense so far. I think it's mostly based on conditioning for him, mostly based on effort level for him. There's a lot that I did not like. This is not, and I kind of agree with Alex and with you that I thought that we'd see more defensively and maybe less offensively. But I think that we see that like maybe he's more ready offensively just because he's a very smart. You can see like he's very intelligent. Like he's a very intelligent basketball player. And he shows that on the offensive end, and he has a lot of rhythm to the way he plays, which I think fits the way the Thunder.
Yeah, he's patient.
Yeah.
That is important. That is very important. He makes very good, very patient and elaborate decision with the ball, which doesn't bound well with some of the defensive decisions that he makes.
Yeah.
So, and sometimes it's just, hey, Brazil will not make 6 threes in a game, probably. So it's fine to defend him like that, and probably even more aggressively. So I would just shield the basket and just raise my arm at, I would say, 5 feet away. But yeah, I mean, I think that some of you said that he's good at the basket, yes, but when he has to make like 2 steps, then it's not good.
Yeah.
Like I thought that kind of recovery ability, like when you have to make like 2-3 steps and you have like a big advantage on the guard, I thought he could be more effective there compared to what it was. Maybe it's just like refining timing and positioning and adjusting to the NBA speed, which is something that takes a while. I mean, I remember guys with the same like body type and similar like ability in terms of shooting, like Rudy Gobert, which I would say defensively, it would be a super duper high end for Mara. I mean, he could not stay on the court for the first year.
Yeah.
So there is some of that. But still, watching the films and watching how effective he was at Michigan, I think he could have been like a little bit far ahead in terms of defensive contribution in summer league.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, you mentioned the Denver game. I thought offensively he was very good. I thought like his passing, his rhythm, his even like lob catching was just better than I thought it would be. So I do think that like he'll get minutes with the Thunder. Like there's no question he will get minutes with the Thunder because everybody does. But Mark is very, very picky, I would say, about who he lets on the court, specifically when it comes to defense. And I am fascinated to see how Mark handles that with him. Because if he plays like he did in summer league, like he's going to get pulled like pretty quick, I think. Go ahead.
No, if you think about the lineup with, say, AJ Mitchell, Cason Wallace, Alex Caruso, J Dub or J Will, maybe better J Dub, and him.
Yeah.
That is a unit where Mara can really play drop coverage. The point of attack defense will be so good that he could not be thrown out too frequently.
Yeah.
And maybe we will see. Well, let's put it in the other way, or turn the thing around. Like if he fails in such lineups, then it will be hard. If he can be effective as a rim deterrent in those lineups, and having the same kind of passing acumen that he showed, then I think that we can count on him being a 10, 12 minutes per night kind of guy. Maybe not every night, but in most nights. Let's put it this way.
Yeah. I did not like the Mara pick the night of the draft. It was not my favorite pick. I also look at the rest of the first round and think I don't really know who else I would have taken. Like I think I like Nate Ament less than Mara. Steinbach is very talented, but I just don't know that Steinbach is going to be able to defend ever in the NBA or in the Thunder system. I like Swain. Maybe I would have taken Swain. That's probably like the only guy left on the board that I feel like I really would have taken there. Alan Graves has looked good. I don't think I would take Alan Graves. I was not an Alan Graves guy before the draft, but he's looked really good for the Raptors in Summer League. You have to be cautious with Summer League in so many ways, though. Maybe Graves would have been the guy, but with the way everything fell with Merez Johnson Jr. and Burries, and I don't think they would have taken Yaxel, but even with Yaxel gone, it's like, I don't know who they were supposed to take there. I think that getting a guy who 7'4", he's giant, he's super duper skilled. It's like you might as well take a swing on that guy, and if you can figure it out defensively, then you have like a legitimately very good player on your team. So,
can I add one more thing?
Yeah.
He doesn't have to be ready tomorrow.
Yeah.
He doesn't have to be ready for year 2 in his rookie contract. That is the beauty of it. He can be showing you something late in his rookie contract, and it would be still valuable. Because, I mean, truth to be told, if he becomes a superstar, great. You always want superstar. But if he becomes like a good enough player that commands you another $25, $28 million contract, then it's probably gone anyway. So, like, yes, you get the production, but again, you have your starting center for next season. So if he slowly becomes like a very good rotation player, like Jay Will, who in year 4 is becoming a reliable big for your rotation to a point where if you think about us 4 weeks ago, like with the idea of Hartenstein gone, we were not saying, "Oh, OKC needs to immediately get like the next starting center." It's probably, yeah, Chet will start, Jay will play a lot. It's fine. Something will happen. So again, it doesn't need to be tomorrow for either Sorber or Mara, especially for Mara.
Yeah, I agree. What grade would you give the Mara pick?
I mean, I second what you said on like in compared to what I wanted, it's probably a D minus compared to what it was available. I think it's I would have picked the same guy. I mean, Swain probably a rich, Graves not my cup of tea, Steinbach, Amond no,
Yeah.
and for all the other guys, it was way early. So for me, any team at that point with that pick should have taken Ademara. So what else could I give if not like a B plus to A minus?
Yeah.
Of course. I mean, you don't know how much they offer to trade up, and you don't know for whom. So,
Yeah.
of course, let's put it this way: if they had chosen to move up, say to the level where Burrs was available or Morris Johnson was available, and you pick Mara, then probably my grade was like today with very low information, probably a C to a D, especially if Burris was there.
Yeah, for sure.
But pick him at 12. That's probably exactly what they should have done.
Yeah, I gave it a B. It's hard for me to give it an A, but I'll give it a B. I think they did fine. I think it was fine. I think the board just fell the way that it did, and it just is what it is there. Okay, Bennett Sturts. They traded 17 and seconds for 16, and they drafted Bennett Sturts. Give me your. I'm going to give you the floor on Bennett Sturts right now, McKelly.
It's kind of the same in terms of what he contributed to. It was mostly on offense. Defensively, it was okay. Nothing terribly bad. I would say also nothing awesomely good. He made like a few plays trying to throw charges, and he was mobile enough. He was not like dying on screen on any or anything like that. So I don't condemn the effort. And offensively, I think he could have done so much more offensively. I mean, I think that he paced himself, not taking all the possessions. I think that this was also part of the plan. But as soon as he took command of pick and roll, you could see, wow, this guy really gets angles. He really gets timing in pick and roll. He really knows how to create separation with the shot. The ball didn't go into a crazy degree, but that is something that I absolutely don't care about in summer league. I think that he has a very good basketball brain. I think he will be, in a matter of, I would say, half a season, be ready to understand NBA timing and play pick and roll with guys like Hartenstein to a very high level.
Yeah.
So to me, that pick is a very good one. Trading a couple of second rounders to get up, it's to me great value if you think that the guy is valuable enough. So to me, it doesn't really change. I mean, if he was there at 17 and picking or paying 2 second rounders to grab him, I don't think that it makes any difference as long as you pick the guy that you want. So to me, is a very early A in terms of getting a guy that clearly was missing in the playoffs. Now, I'm not saying that in next year's playoff he will be able to play. That is not what I'm saying. It's just OKC needs primary ball handler in any lineup. I think that this is what OKC wants. They want guys that can attack the rim decisively and Sturts, even if he's not like huge in terms of athletic and body measurements. I think that he understands pick and roll timing, and also he can manipulate the defense with the shot enough where he can put his defenders out of position and then attack relentlessly at the rim. So I think that this is an on-brand pick for OKC, what Mark Daigneault likes in terms of guards, and so very, very. I have very, very high hopes for a guy like Sturts.
Yeah, I think he's going to be awesome with them. I think he'll play right away. Like I just don't like the shot looks so good, and the kinds of shots that he would get with the players that are on the Thunder are going to be shots that he probably has never seen. Which might be an adjustment. Like to be fair, it might be an adjustment for him, but like he's going to have wide open shots, and he's going to have a guy like Shea. I mean, he's literally been the best player on his team for probably his whole life. I mean, you look at his journey from like the JUCO to Drake to Iowa. Like he was the best player on all those teams. They relied on him immensely, and he's going to be. I mean, I think he was the best player on the summer league team too. So I think like he had it there as well. And then he's going to get to the Thunder, and it's going to be like, oh my gosh, my teammates can do what? I think it's going to be eye-opening even for him.
Yeah, and it goes back to what I said in terms of he could have handled the ball so much more in summer league, but I think that by design, he was cast as an off-ball player a little bit, especially early in summer league. Then I think that the coaching staff realized, well, it doesn't really pay off to keep him off ball if nobody can pass him open. So I think that there will be dozens of players that can pass him open in OKC. So again, to me, it's even guys, and I'm sure you discussed him, and I would give him like a high grade. Keeping Kenrich, even a guy like Kenrich Williams can give you like a touch pass, an hockey assist to pass you open. So he will just have to reset his mind, and when he touches the ball, he needs to let it fly because, as you mentioned, the shooting form and the quickness of the motion is so good. So he just has to go from, hey, I need to attack every single time, to as soon as I touch it, the first option is letting it fly and then seeing what else.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I give this pick an A. I mean, you look at other guys that would have been available on the board. Graves will probably be a guy that's mentioned just because he did play really well. Still not my kind of player, period, even though he looked pretty good in summer league. Corey is a little bit smaller and more of a ball dominant guy, and is not the shooter that starts his. Christian Anderson is a little bit smaller, really good shooter, not quite the decision maker that starts his. Quayton's literally just had knee surgery, and they just picked a center, so I don't think that makes sense. Karim Lopez, no thank you. Phylon, I like Phylon. He's also probably a little bit similar to a Corey in that he's maybe not like the off-ball catch and shoot guy. Zuby didn't make a ton of sense for the Thunder. Cam Carr, I don't think was going to be picked by the Thunder. So it's like, okay, who else were they supposed to take there? There are a lot of guys I would rather them take. Not really. Sturtz was like, he was one of the guys that I really hoped would end up on the Thunder. And here they are. Even Swain went one pick before. Swain was a guy that we really liked, or at least I really liked at that spot, but he was not available. So Sturtz is kind of like the second best option for me there. So I like the pick. I would give it an A. I like that they went and got him. I definitely appreciate that about the Thunder, is that when they have a guy that they want to go get, either he's there and they pick him, or they go get him. And like they obviously wanted Bennett Sturtz on the team. If it didn't matter between him and a Corey or him and Christian Anderson, then I think that they would have just been like, okay, we'll just stay. We don't have to give up assets. But this was a guy that they clearly targeted. And, there's been guys in the past that they've clearly targeted in ways, some that have really worked out, some that have not. But
Dylan Jones.
In that same draft, they targeted Dylan Jones. Did not work. And they targeted AJ Mitchell. And so this feels like more of an AJ Mitchell than a Dylan Jones at this point, but I think
two times champion Dylan Jones. So
it's true. It's true. You can't say it's not true.
Yeah. It's factual, Andrew. It's factual. There is nothing but truth about this.
He's won a championship every year he's been in the league. So the guy's
There we go.
he's just that good. Okay, and then they traded back. They did something that they really you don't see the Thunder make deals like this where they got cash back to trade back in the draft to take Otega away. Now he did hurt his ankle in Salt Lake. We didn't see him at all, which I do think like very much probably made the Mara experience even worse in Vegas.
Yeah.
It's like not having a guy like that. You talk to people and there are a lot of like people that are really high on what this guy could be. Like they think that he could be like the next like two-way guy to get a standard contract from the Thunder. Now it's going to be way more difficult than it has in the past to actually obtain that because of there's no roster spots.
Yeah, and you need to be mindful about who you're going to pick in the next draft. So that is also a factor. By the way, it's just me, or you did make an Owe Fred Cat style pun on the Fripod who nobody got.
Yes, I absolutely did.
Thank you. I thought nobody laughed, and I was I would say it's just me, or is Andrew making a pun and nobody else realized?
Yeah, if he's really good, it's going to get annoying how many puns I'm going to have with him if he's actually good. So, but yeah, I think
you can try to follow G League just to make puns. Also,
yeah, I could start a Down to Dunk G League pod. We'll do G League episodes on Thursdays. We'll do that. I don't know. He's the 41st pick in the draft. Like, how are we? I mean, it's hard to grade the second round of the draft until you actually see these guys. Someone will pop. Multiple guys will pop in the second round. That's just kind of how it goes. But like, guys that I liked in the second round, like Richie Saunders. I know he's injured, but like he's like a really interesting player at 6'6". They did trade Ryan Conwell, who I do think has. I mean, he's got some stuff to him. I think that he could play for Miami. Dylan Mitchell's been good for the Celtics. I think that he's interesting, but he went before Otega did. They could have just kept the pick and taken the other guy, but they did get cash back, which I think helps the ownership group, which is something that's good. So I think that they also probably targeted Otega and knew that they could trade back and get him. So I'll trust the Thunder. They've been really good at selecting players in this area of the draft. So I will.
Yeah, I think it's the second year that they are drafting the same prototype of player. They did the same thing with JRE and J. Will. Like drafting a 6'8", 6'9" guy who could just play multiple positions and be a potential shooter with high IQ. JRE did not work out. I think that this type of player is, shall we draft a guy that is pure energy off the bench, like a lot of intangibles, a lot of rebounding potential, defensive acumen, disruption, and stuff like that? Can we make him a player? With Barnheiser, I think that the answer to me is he's probably going to be out of the league. I don't see him becoming a player. The shot is too broken, and when your shot is like that and you're not like 6'9", 6'10", it's extremely hard to make it. So I think that this is the second try of that kind of player. So let's see if you can bring a high energy player with, I would say, a winning mentality on the team, and see if we can mold him into a bulldog defensively and somewhat serviceable offensively.
Yeah, if he can shoot, and it's similar to Barnheiser, because Barnheiser like has a lot to him. Like he can really rebound. He brings a lot of energy and effort. And if he was like somehow like a good shooter, like okay, well that's a rotation player. But without that, piece, without that piece, it's just not there. So it's going to be the same for Otega. It's like if he can shoot it, then yeah, he can make it. If he doesn't shoot it, then the path is really, really difficult.
And same thing could be also Dylan Jones was kind of this player. And I think that for Dylan, the leash was very short. It's clear that he was too short. And so something else, it's my guess. Again, it's not a source guess, not an educate guess. But when OKC pulls this quickly on a rookie, I think that it's different stuff than just on-court production. So, but again, it was a similar kind of idea where you have like this high energy, high rebounding, high feel player with questionable shooting. And again, let's see if the third time is a charm.
Yeah. Yeah, I think that they are, yeah, you're right. Like they have a type. And in round 2, it's easier to find these types than guys that are like super skilled. Now, AJ Mitchell kind of broke that mold a little bit. Like the fact that they were able to get him in round 2 was essentially like the entire league just making mistakes, like a really big mistake on this guy.
Oh, yeah.
And
maybe because he came from Waffle University.
That could be. He's the first graduate of Belgian Waffle University to play in the NBA. So, it's difficult to grade him. So, okay, I would give the Ortega pick. You get Cash and Ortega away, probably just like a B. I mean, it's just hard to tell like what's going to happen there. I would say like overall the summer, like you think about the things they accomplished, they cleared away a ton of cash and are saving the team a lot of money this summer with the deals for Isaiah Joe and Aaron Wiggins. They get Isaiah Hartenstein to take a pay cut and to stay with the team. That's big time. They pick up Lugens Dort's option for $18.2 million. They draft Mara and Sturts and Ortega. Overall, like it's a very stable summer, I would say. It was not too off base. There's nothing crazy that they've done. They may be taking a slight step back with the rotation players they have, but again, like you have to like really remember that it's not just trading Isaiah Joe and Aaron Wiggins. Like I think that Sturts will play a pretty big role for them. I think like that's like pretty obvious. But the fact that like your shooting is not just now, okay, it better be Sturts. Like you have a chance to give Jared McCain a lot of minutes and a guy who has shown like a really high ceiling. So like the fact that you have McCain there, like I don't know that the step back is going to be what a lot of people are saying it could be because you're giving.
I don't get it, Andrew.
Yeah, go ahead.
I just don't get it. Like in the playoffs, McCain, for basketball reasons, was like picked before the two guys.
Yeah.
And I mean, the step back, if you count the same amount of injuries on crucial players, yeah, maybe you can take a step back. If again, J-Dub and AJ Mitchell or Shea or Chet miss a lot of time, then yes, they will have a step back. But if you give me the full roster of this year against the full roster of last year, you're basically replacing Joe and Wiggins minutes with Isaiah Joe with AJ Mitchell and McCain.
Yeah.
Like, what are we talking about?
Yeah.
Like, this is not a step back. This is just probably, if you are very, very dismissive of Isaiah Joe, of McCain and Mitchell abilities, a draw. But I think that more minutes for AJ Mitchell and more minutes for McCain can give you exactly, if not more. So, I don't think that a step back is really what is going to happen. I think that OKC, if healthy, would be so much better than last year because Shea will be better, J-Dub will be better, Chet will be better, Hartenstein will be more connected to this team, and so, I mean, to Cason Wallace. I mean, we are not counting Cason Wallace to be better next year. I mean, this guy is in a contract year. He has to shoot all his ammo this year because he needs to get a max. He wants to get a max. I hope that he has that production because if Cason Wallace turns himself into a sort of a max player, then OKC will have like a lot of issues cap wise, but a lot of benefits on the court. So I think that Joe and Wiggins had very good regular season, especially Joe. Wiggs had a bad regular season, I think. And McCain has all the abilities to shoot as good as Joe. So I don't really get it. But I'm optimistic, so.
Yeah, I do think like a full season of McCain is really going to help. It's going to help to a pretty large degree. And you just hope that AJ can like have a summer where he like takes time to like figure out like what's going on with his body. And like how like they can keep him on the court more. It could be adjusting his game. It could be just like
he has to
adjusting his body. I mean, like the thing about Shea is like, and I hope that he takes time to like learn from Shea with just almost every aspect of the game, obviously, but like the stretching and then like just the preservation of his body. Like Shea is like almost like a master of it. And AJ has got to figure that out, because if he doesn't figure that out and he's just like he plays 40 games a year, like that's great, but like the value of a guy like that is not nearly what we thought it could be. So he's got to like
still good for OKC, but and also J-Dub. I mean, they need to take. I think that the most taxing part of basketball for both is getting at the rim with such force, which it is what makes them special. And I'm not saying that you should take it out, but you should master it better. You should time it better. You should be like working on different weapons in order to be able to exploit the same stuff better with different speed, different energy, so that you can be a little bit more balanced. Even Russell Westbrook had to rework his shot in order to be less taxing on his joints and in his body in general. So I think that this will be part of their growth, both of J-Dub and AJ Mitchell. And of course, it will probably take away something. But if you can get like 95% AJ Mitchell for 68 games, then it's better than having full force for 40.
Yeah, I agree, especially with some of the improvements that could be made too, and adding Sturts as a guy that can create will help. And I think McCain can create better than what Isaiah Joe could. It's like you're just adding a lot of creation to the team.
And also, what about like McCain is not a shot creator. Like Benny Sturts is like a pick and roll maestro. Now, can he translate that to the league? That is up to debate. We don't know. But if he can, then that is going to create shots. Period.
Yeah, totally agree. Yeah, it's going to be really fun to kind of see how it unfolds. So, okay. Hope everybody's having an awesome day. MIchele is obviously having an awesome day. He's in Greece. So
look at my recording spot. I am under a plant. At the port.
Oh, unbelievable. This is
so apparently here is better than my hotel room.
Yeah.
Like it's
that's so funny.
It's insane.
You've got to look at the YouTube, guys. If you're just listening on the your podcast app, you got to go to the YouTube to check out MIchele's recording spot. Like this is ridiculous. This is amazing.
Really, I sat on a tree, which is not extremely comfortable, but I managed.
Listen, we needed it. We needed to hear your thoughts. I think it's always refreshing to hear your thoughts on everything, but like draft prospects in general. So I'm thankful for this tree today.
Yeah, me too. Perfect spot.
All right. Hope everybody's having a great weekend. Enjoy the World Cup today. If you're watching, who are you rooting for, MIchele?
I was rooting for England and Norway. Not in this order. Norway was my first rooting team. I don't know. Probably would love to have Messi winning another one.
Yeah. Okay.
just an amazing player.
Yeah.
And Argentina is so much like distant from here. I can't bear to hear all my Spanish contacts like saying and bragging that they won, whereas Italy was not even in the cup. So
yeah. Okay. Let's go Argentina. I think I think that's where I land too. So we are going to watch it at our house. We're very excited. My boys are very excited to watch it. So it should be a lot of fun. All right. Hope everybody has a great rest of your day, and we'll talk to you guys again on Wednesday.
Until to die, until to die.